Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin.
And Dana.
And what do we got going on today?
We are thinning out our egg-laying flock.
That's right. So our chickens in these two coops behind us here, the young ones are about 4 years old and the older ones are 5 years old. And when they hit that age, their egg production really starts to drop off.
A lot.
Yeah. So with the cost of feed, we're only getting like 2 or 3 eggs out of these coops a day for 20 to 30 chickens. It is not cost effective at all.
Not at all.
So we got some new chickens coming in about a month. We need to get these guys moved out, make room for the new chickens. So I think it's time to make some chicken noodle soup. What do you think?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Normally when we open the run door for the chickens, they come flying and sprinting out right away. So you're kind of hoping by putting the crate up there, opening them up and having the straw in there, they'd come out right away. Yeah, not even one came out. So we tried to coax them out with some feed, because we withhold feed from our animals for 24 hours before we process them to try to keep them cleaner. So we put a little feed in there and try to coax them out. We got a few of them out, and some of those would go back in, a couple more would come out, and they'd go back in, and it didn't work really well. So we let them sit for a little while, hoping more would come out. Obviously, they didn't. So we decided that one of us had to get in there. Dana volunteered. Thankfully, these 3 chickens stayed in while Dana climbed in the door. So Dana basically ended up grabbing each chicken individually and kind of pushing it through the door. And then I would open and close the door to keep the other chickens from going back in the coop. I ended up running to the barn and getting Dana a mask. As the chickens ran around and flapped their wings and got all excited, they stirred up so much dust, and we really didn't want her breathing all that in. Now we had to solve the problem of getting the cage away from the coop to close the door without the chickens getting out, and Dana couldn't help me because the cage door was up against the coop door. So I grabbed this old blanket, threw it over the opening, and it worked like a dream.
So how'd that go?
That was unpleasant. Like really, really unpleasant. Should have planned ahead to have a mask on prior to sneaking my way into the coop. Once the chickens all got startled, they were stirring up everything that's in the bottom of that coop, and it was just all over the place. So I was using my coat sleeve to like breathe clean air. Justin ran and got me a mask real quick and snuck it through the little nesting box door, which definitely helped a lot. But when the chickens are all flying around trying to catch them, it's not fun. But
I can imagine.
But no one escaped, so it was still very successful. But he's gonna do the next coop. I'm not doing it.
Yep, I'm fine with that. So we're gonna go get these guys processed, and then we'll catch back up with you when it's time to load up the other coop.
So we didn't show any of the processing or the processing setup or teardown in this video. We got some videos that show that, and I'll put links to those in the description. Don't worry, we don't show anything graphic, so they're appropriate to watch. But we have our meat chicken video where we did showed the whole setup. We didn't show any processing in that. And then we did, just our last video was our turkey processing day, and we showed a little more of what goes into the actual processing versus the setup. So again, I'll have those links in the description. Feel free to go check those out if you want to see more of that stuff. So this coop's a little easier to get the chickens out of with it being smaller. Of course, I did let one of the chickens slip out of the cage. We'll try to get that one later. But it's a lot easier. I don't have to climb in. I can stand in front of the door, open the door, grab the chickens, and with me blocking most of the door, none of them try to fly out. So we tried to spend a little time catching the chicken that got out. It was too quick and we just ran out of time. The sun was going down. We still had to process the last couple chickens, get everything cleaned up, get the chickens bagged up, and get them into the house. So we left the fence open for that chicken. It's been about a week and a half later, and the chicken actually made its way over by Cadence's chickens, the couple that we kept for eggs for this winter, and we ended up putting it inside there, so that chicken is nice and safe and happy with some other chickens. Now that we got all the chickens processed, we can work on getting them bagged up in our shrink bags. Unfortunately, the little scolder that we use for the shrink bags quit working today. So we had to drain the big one, put new water in it, clean it out, and get that heated back up. So while that's finishing the heating process, we'll start bagging up the chickens we can until the table's full. That way when the water's to the right temperature, we can just quickly go through all the ones that are bagged and get them shrunk. We ended up running out of the smaller chicken bags, so we ended up having to use some of our big turkey bags, and we figured with the chickens being smaller, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if we had to cook 2 at one time, so we ended up putting 2 in each of the turkey bags, and it actually worked pretty good. The turkey bags shrunk pretty good around those 2 chickens.
It's always a long day.
Yep. Seems like no matter how long or how much we do this, it's always a long day.
Today felt longer though.
I think the fact that they were older and probably a little bit tougher.
They were definitely tougher. Like breaking apart the connective tissue and whatnot. It was resisting. Where your Cornish cross, man, those are easy and quick, and like you can do a whole chicken in a couple minutes, and this was just fighting me. Yep.
But we got them done, so we're gonna throw them on the pellet forks and bring them up to the house and get them in the refrigerator.
And if you guys have used your egg-laying chickens for meat or bone broth, leave in the comments what recipes you've used. Our egg layers actually have a lot more meat on them than we had thought they would. So I'd like to be able to utilize some of that meat for something, some type of meal, other than just 26 batches of bone broth.
That'd be a lot of soup.
It'll be a lot of soup, but we also drink it when we're sick. But leave in the comments recipes we can use for aged meat.
Yeah.
Mature meat. So.
All right, well, let's get these up to the house and get this day over with.
Yes.
All right.
So as the sun's going down and we're losing daylight, this will be the end of our video. Hopefully you guys found this interesting and entertaining. If you did, please give it a like, we'd really appreciate it. Also consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. We got lots of cool stuff coming up. We got new baby chickens coming soon. We got grading projects. We got a temporary garage we're going to build for the Case tractor. I'm going to have some builds in the shop coming up over the winter. So all kinds of great stuff. So please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of that. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.